Hello, my lovelies. Today we're going to be talking about Markiplier getting snubbed at the Emmys recently. This is a weird situation because who would snub Markiplier? Apparently, real celebrities. So we're going to be talking about it. Without any further ado, grab your snacks, grab your drinks. Let's jump into this situation. Roll the intro. So, I found an article about this to better explain the situation. But if you don't know who Markiplier is, which I hope you do because you're on YouTube, Markiplier is a very well-known gaming content creator. He does a lot of Let's Plays. He's done a lot of work for charity. He is hilarious, funny. He is also a very creative person and has directed quite a few things for YouTube themselves on their YouTube originals, including the project that he got nominated recently for an Emmy, which would be In Space with Markiplier. So let's go ahead and read off this article. Gaming YouTube superstar Markiplier said the entire media ignored him on the red carpet even though he was up for an Emmy. Markiplier's interactive series In Space with Markiplier was nominated for an Emmy. The gaming YouTuber attended the red carpet for the awards, but he said he was essentially ignored. He said that it showed the mainstream media still isn't ready to embrace the fame of internet creators. Gaming YouTuber Markiplier spoke about his experience at the Emmy Awards, saying it was underwhelming and that he was essentially ignored by every media outlet in attendance. Markiplier, whose real name is Mark Fischbach, I can't say his last name. I say it Fickbach, so I'm sorry if that's wrong, Mark. If you're somehow watching this, I'm so sorry, man. I'm trying over here. I have speech issues. I'm doing my best. I'm sorry. Is one of the YouTube's biggest gaming creators with over 34 million subscribers, which, not to humble brag, but I have been subscribed to Markiplier before he had 2,000 subscribers, so... And I'm still here! Surprisingly. That took a dark turn. Let's move on. Mark, 33, described his time at the Children and Family Emmy Awards in Los Angeles in a live stream on December 11th, the day after he attended. He said that he had been to red carpet events before, but not up for an award like this at this time, when his Choose Your Own Adventure series, In Space with Markiplier, was nominated for the Outstanding Interactive Media Award. Mark said that the Emmy event itself was extremely underwhelming and quite awkward. Not least because of the reporters at the event ignored him. And this is fine. I'm not in a moment where I'm like, do you know who I am? Mark said. What amazes me is that if any of them were to interview me and put those interviews on YouTube, they would do exceptionally well for their channels. Exactly! These people, if they made an interview with him and popped it up on YouTube, you know how many of us fans would watch this interview just to support this man that has gotten us through some of our darkest times? Us traumatized Gen Zers? This man is probably the reason why some of us are even still on this planet, let's just be honest. So yeah, he's making a really strong point there. Not only that, but the simple fact that I don't know if this happened before or after his Schmonly Schmlans came out. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube, so that's why I'm censoring it. I'm sorry. I have to. But I don't know if this was before or after his Schmonly Schmlans came out, because he crashed the website. This man crashed the website for that kind of content because his fans, one, are a bunch of horny, rabid people. I'm not gonna lie. They are. I'm not one of them. I see Markiplier as like an older brother. Same with Jacksepticeye. I look up to them in that way. So I'm not on his Schmonly Schmlans. But the fact that there are that many people out there that will support him to the point that they crash the website? And they aren't giving him an interview.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Math ain't mathin', Chief. The math is not mathing. So let's go back to this article. Mark's fandom is indeed strong. His multiple weekly videos are regularly exceeding 1 million views. This April, he celebrated 10 years on the platform, a decade which has seen him earn a particularly well-dedicated fanbase and launch several ambitious and creative projects. In Space with Markiplier starts out with a YouTube video set up on a spaceship and many cameos from fellow recognizable gamers. Then disaster hits and the viewer has a choice of what to do: to put out the fire or fix the oxygen supply. From there, different storylines play out from each decision, culminating in 4 distinct endings. The first segment, which has been viewed 18 million times. Madrid Noir is a mystery series on Oculus Quest Ultimately Won. In October, Mark put his fans' devotion to the test and said he would set up a Schmolnly Schmlans account if they got both of his podcasts to the top of the charts on Apple Music and Spotify, which they did, as promised, and Mark announced that the first 3 drops of Tasteful Schnoods on Thursday. It was so popular that the site crashed. It did! I seen plenty of even TikToks of people being like, oh, I told my boyfriend that Mark made his Schmolnly Schmlans, and he sent me money to buy the pictures. Mark said that his treatment highlighted a fundamental disconnect in which mainstream media undervalues content creators. Not to mention that the platforms we're on undervalue us too unless we make the big bucks. It's not that I'm offended, because I don't care. And I don't want to be there in the first place, he said, but it amazes me that they didn't know who I was, and they actively didn't want to talk to me. He speculated that media outlets may not care about him because their coverage is less important to online stars than to traditional celebrities. They realize that I and none of my fellow content creators need them in that way. Exactly. And the moment that they acknowledge the reality, everything just kind of falls apart for them. It's actually really hilarious. And I think that's the end of the article. So, yeah. I think he's making another good point with saying that, like, as soon as, regular media outlets start admitting that bigger content creators, being in movies and stuff recently, kind of wrecks their whole thing, because they don't need paparazzi. They don't need to do interviews. They can just go right on their channels and do Q&As, which is essentially an interview. They can do interviews with other content creators. They don't need the mainstream media anymore. And I think that's another reason why that they snub people like Charlie D'Amelio, which I don't watch the D'Amelios. I have no issue with them because I'm not in the fandom. But I know a lot of people were upset that Charlie or Dixie... No, that was Addison Rae. It was Addison Rae that was in that one movie that everyone was kind of memeing on that was on Netflix. So, I don't know why they would do this to him. I hate that they did this to him, but yeah, he made a lot of good points, and I'm glad that he doesn't give a flying fuck about it, because he really shouldn't. I mean, we all love him here on YouTube, clearly. I mean, we all clearly love Markiplier. I mean, I know he has his haters and everything, but like I said before, I have been here since practically the beginning of his channel. I remember when this man was going fast in his living room as Sonic and putting boxes of Cheez-Its on his head and being Slender Man with dreads. I remember the birth of Wilford Warfstache, who I have actually cosplayed a gender-bent version of, which is Willa Warfstache. So, that's how much I'm in the fandom. I have been here for a while. And I know I'm not going to stop supporting him, and I know a lot of other people are not going to stop supporting him, because he's not only you know, this really funny guy that we've watched on YouTube for a long time. He's honestly an inspiration when it comes to content creation, to always just being yourself. And I've taken a lot of things that he has said to heart, like the golden rule of respect. Even if you don't like a certain person or what they're saying, that they still deserve respect. And I have taken that thing right here to heart. And I try to live my life that way, because everyone does deserve respect. Even if you don't like what they're saying, even if you don't like their opinion, they still deserve respect. And that is why I've treated the vegan teacher, even though she has literally done a whole lot to me personally, I still try to treat her with as much respect as possible. I mean, sure, I take a couple digs at her every now and then and ask her what the fuck is wrong with her, but that's just my honest opinion. And I, in the beginning, was very respectful to her, even though a lot of bad shit was happening. And I just find him a very inspirational person for me to look up to. Like I said, I look up to Markiplier like an older brother. So I know we're not going to stop supporting him. Fuck the mainstream media, because has anyone even kept up with TMZ recently? I remember when TMZ was like the hottest place for all the celebrity gossip when I was a kid. I remember teenage girls when I was in elementary school talking about getting on the TMZ website and seeing what Rihanna and Chris Brown were up to. And we all know how that marriage lasted. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments below. If you feel like it, and you want to follow all my socials, my link tree to my socials, which includes my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, are all in my link tree on my YouTube channel here. So go and check those out if you want to. I also have a Amazon wish list. Again, nobody is obligated to buy anything from it, but it's there if you want to buy stuff that does support the channel, like these microphones that I recently got. So, and I love these new microphones. So again, another shout out to the person that bought these. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just so happy about these microphones because my audio sounded like shit up until a couple weeks ago. So again, thank you. And I'm not going to stop thanking people when it comes to that, because it just touches my heart when people decide to buy things for me off my wish list. Again, not obligated, just pointing it out. I'm really bad at self-promotion, I know. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Hit the like and subscribe if you feel like it. And if you watch this video all the way through, you're a real one. Thank you so much. And if you feel like it, hit the subscribe button. Join the Randonauts. I think that's what we're calling ourselves now. Subscribers, let me know in the comments if that's what we're calling the collective community here on this channel, the Randonauts. I'm pretty sure that's what we're calling ourselves, the Randonaut Army, so consensus, good name, bad name, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I love you all so fucking much, and I hope you have the best day. Bye.